Welcome to Testimonies. This is a free podcast ministry from Follow the Sun Radio. This is episode 1 of Testimonies. Today we feature our interview with Bob Brumley. Mr. Brumley is the owner of Brumley Music, and his father was Albert E. Brumley, the writer and composer of several hymns that have been sung in churches for generations now. We spoke via phone on March 17th, 2016, about various topics, including memories of his father and current events going on with the Brumley Music Group. Here is our interview. It's a blessing that you contacted us, and thank you so much for joining our listeners. Just to give people a little bit of a background that may not know, Albert Brumley, that was your father, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he was born in 1905, and he began writing music, according to your website, in the 20s. He's the writer of songs that everybody knows: "I'll Fly Away," "Turn Your Radio On," "He Set Me Free," "I'll Meet You in the Morning," probably several others. And he passed away to go on to the Lord in 1977, and long story short, you became the owner in 86, I believe, right?
That's correct, yes.
All right. Well, what I wanted to do, and I apologize to my listeners, I'm getting over a little bit of a flu. My voice is not holding out. I'm going to let you do most of the talking. Tell our listeners a little bit about the Brumley Music Group and how you're working to carry on your father's legacy.
Well, listen, my whole aim has been to be sure my dad's music lives on after, sometimes when writers pass away after their music kind of dies out with them, but I've been trying my best to keep Dad's legacy alive, and because his music is meaningful to people, and it's just a great treasure for me to be able to do this. We've been working with record companies and publishing companies and everything to be sure that we get this done. And this gospel sing that we do in August is to commemorate his name and everything. So,
yeah, absolutely. Are there any songs out there that that your father wrote that people may be surprised to know that's his song?
Well, there probably would be. I don't know. One of them might be one called "Ring Strangers to Me."
Yeah.
Dad wrote that. That's kind of become a bluegrass anthem.
Yep.
All the bluegrass groups use that song a lot, and a lot of them were surprised to learn that Dad wrote that song. So
yes. Well, and a lot of songs that even non-Christians are probably very familiar with. Your dad's music was in a lot of movies.
Yes, it was. Several movies. The most recent one was one called Benjamin Button. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
That movie, And he, of course, Old Brother Where Art Thou always became a pretty big thing,
Oh, yeah, I love that movie. Well, now, one thing that I wanted to ask you about, and you can elaborate as much as you want to, or but I'd like to know a little bit about your father from the perspective of your childhood. I know he was likely writing and publishing music before you were even born. Are there any memories that you have of him as a father?
Well, Dad, the thing about dads are that to the kids, they're just dad, dad and mom. They were just our parents. But I always get up there, probably up in the teens, before I began to realize that Dad was a famous man.
Yeah.
But Dad was a baseball fan. We played a lot of baseball with him and fished with him, and he was a hunter, and he hunted squirrel a lot. So he just did things that normal dads would do. But most of the thing, he spent a lot of time with us, even though he was a busy man. He spent a lot of time with us as kids, playing baseball and teaching us things, and teaching us about life. And that's just, and he was a great traveling companion. When we traveled a lot, he was really a neat guy to travel with. So had a lot of fun with him.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you sharing that with us. I did want to ask about your other father, your heavenly father, if you don't mind. I know you've grown up with gospel music. Myself, I was I didn't go to church as a child. I started going to church at 16 when I got my license. Went to my aunt's church, and I found I was saved at 17 years old at Yellow Creek Baptist Church here in Murrayville, and. But you grew up. You grew up with gospel music, and how did that really influence your relationship with Jesus Christ? Are there any testimonies that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Well, it's just that, music is so meaningful because the Bible teaches us to sing and teaching and admonishing one another with psalms and hymns. That's just what it's about. So gospel music influenced me a lot in the way I live and everything. That's just part of life to me, and my relationship with Christ and God comes from all that. And it's just there's a lot of lessons learned in this great music that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now I want to ask you a little bit about a couple things that the Brumley Music Group is doing. One of them is the I'll Fly Away Foundation. Now, is that your daughter that's heading that up?
Yeah, that's my daughter. That's actually her organization, and they're doing a great job with it. And it's another thing. That organization is to teach people about, and especially younger people and kids, about music. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there's been several organizations springing up here lately that's teaching people about music and how to interact with it and how it affects kids and how it affects your life. It really does, It's words and music inspired. So they've been going to schools and teaching kids about songwriting, and having those kids write songs. And even though they just, it might be kids songs, whatever. But we've watched kids that like we're in a shell. Just didn't like to be mixed with people. You see them come out of their shell and start participating in stuff and watch them grow right before your eyes. And that's what they're trying to do, is inspire people to do music and to be involved in music and learn about the business end of it and also about the writing aspect of it. So
that's a good foundation. Which daughter was that? That's
Betsy, my youngest girl.
Betsy. Now, you've got an annual gospel sing coming up in August, and you do that every August?
We've done that every August for the last 48 years.
Oh, wow, yes. The Brumley Gospel Sing. And you want to tell the listeners a little bit about what to expect?
Well, we just have a big gospel sing. We've got about 29 of the top groups in the business coming. We do it for 4 days, Wednesday through Thursday, and we do matinees on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But it's just 4 big days of continuous singing. We have a lot of people there and a lot of great singing, a lot of fellowship. It's just a great time to be in a great place to come and enjoy yourself. We've moved to Tulsa for this year to the Mabee Center, which is on the Oral Roberts University campus, and there's hotels and everything close there. So, but I think it's just going to be a great move for us because of the way the reaction we're getting from it. But it's been going a long time, so.
Yeah, so that's going to be in Tulsa this year, August 3rd through the 6th, according to the website. And I don't have my computer with me. What's the website so people can go on and take a look at the information?
BrumleyMusic.com.
BrumleyMusic.com. Simple enough. Well, now, I know that you been in the gospel music for quite a while. I just had one more question I wanted to ask you. I wanted your opinion on, 'cause I'm a traditionalist myself. I like music like your fathers and some of the old hymns and everything. There are churches that and people that have started making music that's more worldly, I guess you could say. What's your opinion on getting pop music intermingled with Christian music? And is there?
I'm not crazy about it. I'll tell you, Justin. I'm a traditionalist myself. It's kind of like those what they call 7-11 songs. You sang this 11 words 7 times or whatever. So anyway, I just to each his own on that. If that's what they want to do, that's fine. But it's not for me. And That's why I like stuff that's got some feel and heart in it, and that's why I like the old traditional songs, and even a lot of the new music is good, you know. But I'm just not a fan of that other stuff, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. That's just not my forte, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, the most important thing is if a song helps to lead people to be saved, then I think that it's got a place. It's got a meaning. Yeah.
You got to let the message go. You go in there. That's what the songs are about. There's a message in them, you know.
Exactly.
But to me, for the message to get through, they've got to be written from the heart. They have to know, you know, make people feel a certain way, I think. So,
yeah.
But I'm just giving my opinion.
Well, I appreciate it. It's been such a blessing to talk to you. Are there anything else that you wanted to leave our listeners with? Any other thoughts or any other comments?
No, I just tell them to get involved in music and to just let music be part of their life. It's so satisfying, you know. And
yes.
And I tell you, you know, people that sing, and you never see people arguing or fighting when they're singing, and when they get together, they all have a good time. And I don't know, everybody loves music. You know, that's a universal language. You don't have to understand to even know the words to know that when that person is singing it, that he's delivering a message out there. And it's just, you know, just be involved in this business or in singing, and even with your friends or neighbors or church or whatever, just be involved in singing.
Some of the sweetest songs I've heard in church are from people that can't sing a lick. So
that's true. You know,
yeah.
It's not about how well you can sing; it's about doing what the Lord asks you to do.
Exactly. Follow the Lord all the time.
Yeah.
I want to thank Bob Brumley again for taking time out of his busy schedule to speak to me. It surely was a blessing, and I'm honored to be able to share this interview as the first installment of Testimonies from Follow the Sun Radio. You can find out more about the I'll Fly Away Foundation and the Brumley Music Sing coming up in August 2016 in Tulsa, Oklahoma at brumleymusic.com. To find out more about our music ministry, go to followthesunradio.com. Thank you for listening to Testimonies. This is a free podcast ministry from Follow the Sun Radio. Please visit our webpage for more information about us. That's followthesunradio.com.